So let us continue the topic, modern periodic table. Okay, so last class we have completed till atomic mass, right? So what is atomic mass? We have not completed what is atomic mass. Today class we will discuss atomic mass of 1 to 30 elements, written, no? Okay, next one more important concept is modern periodic table. So we need to remember all the elements in all the elements of modern periodic table, and particularly how to identify, if the element is given, how to identify element belongs to which group, which period, which block, and particularly element belongs to and atomic number as well as atomic mass. These things are important, and it is very tricky also, very simple also, if you remember few important things. Okay, can you tell me modern periodic table? This modern periodic table was constructed by whom? It is constructed by Niels Bohr, right? It is constructed by Niels Bohr based on what? Based on modern periodic law, which is given by Moseley, right? Constructed by Niels Bohr by Moseley's periodic law. Okay, so based on Moseley's periodic law, that is Niels Bohr has constructed modern periodic table. Can you tell me what is Moseley's periodic law? Moseley's periodic law says that the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic number or electronic configuration. It means physical and chemical property of every element is depends on its atomic number, nothing but its electronic configuration. Therefore, what is the Moseley's periodic law? Physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of atomic number over our electronic configuration. Right. So based on this statement, Mendeleev has, Niels Bohr has constructed periodic table. Okay. Can you tell me modern periodic table has how many total elements? 118. 118. There are 118, total 118 elements. Now here important task is how to remember all 118 elements, including with atomic numbers. Okay. Atomic mass is not required. Atomic mass required 1 to 30, but atomic number required for all the elements, and moreover element belongs to which group, which period, which block. These things also important. Okay, so let's see. First is identification of position of element. Right on? Identification of position of element in periodic table. Right, in periodic table element belongs to which period, which group, and which block. So if you say these 3 points, it becomes what? Its position. Okay, so identification of position of element in periodic table. Tell me, first is block, identification of block. Identification of block. So block can be identified by, it is based on differentiating electron. See, if the differentiating electron enters into s orbital, the element belongs to s block. If the differentiating electron enters into p orbital, p block, d orbital, d block, and f orbital is f block. Then what is the meaning of differentiating electron? So say in an element, lost incoming electron is nothing but we called differentiating electron. If the differentiating electron present in S block, P block, D block. So therefore identification of block now, right? It is identified based on differentiating electron. It is identified based on differentiating electron. So how it is? If differentiating electron present in s orbital called what? S block. Similarly, if differentiating electron present in p orbital called p block, and differentiating electron present in, it is come n minus 1d, which is called penultimate d orbital called d block. And finally, if the differentiating electron enters into n minus 2 f, it is called antipenultimate f orbital called f block. So it is based on differentiating electron. Right. For example, let us take sodium. Atomic number 11. Write the electronic configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. It is 3s1. Yes or no? Atomic number of sodium 11, no? So this is electronic configuration. In this electronic configuration, where the differentiating electron present? As I told you, differentiating electron is last incoming electron. Which is the last incoming electron? This is 1. Where it is present? It is in s orbital. So last incoming electron present in s orbital, therefore it is a s block. Sodium is a s block element. Understand? Similarly, let us take boron. Atomic number is 5. Write electronic configuration: 1s2, it is 2s2, 2p1. 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Then which is the differentiating electron here? 2p1. Where it is present? p orbital. Therefore it is a p block. Right? Next, if it is a scandium, atomic number is 21. So write the electronic configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Tell me. 4s, 2, 3d, 1. Okay. Then tell me where the differentiating electron present? 3d, 1. That is d1. So yeah, differentiating electron present in d orbital. Therefore it is a d block. So like that you can identify the given element is present or belongs to which block. It is based on differentiating electron. Okay. In this way you can identify the block. Next is identification of period. Identification of period. Right. A period number can be identified by highest principal quantum number. So therefore, period number is always equals to highest principal quantum number. Take this. Period number can be identified based on highest principal quantum number. Right. For example, let us take again sodium element. Atomic number is 11. Its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. In this electronic configuration, tell me which is the highest principal quantum number. 1 is a principal quantum number, 2 is a principal quantum number, this 2 also principal quantum number, 3 also principal quantum number. But we want highest. Which is highest? 3. Therefore, sodium belongs to third period. Right? Similarly, take phosphorus. Atomic number is 15. Write its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. Right? 3p3. Tell me, which is the highest principal quantum number? 3, 3. Both are same, no? It means 3 is the highest principal quantum number. Since 3 is the highest principal quantum number, then this element also belongs to which period? Third period. That's it. One more example. Take manganese. Atomic number 25. Identify the period. Write its electronic configuration. Chromium, tell me. I'm sorry, manganese. It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d5. Manganese, no, 25. So it is a 4s2, 3d5. Which is the highest principal quantum number? 3 na 4 na? It is 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3. But we want highest. Highest is 4. Therefore, manganese belongs to fourth period. In this way, you can identify the period number of any given element by writing electronic configuration. Next is identification of group. Or group number. Identification of group number. See, in identification of group number, it is different in S block and P block, D block, F block. Let's say for S block element. For S block element, group number is equals to number of ns electrons. For S block element, group number equal to number of ns electrons. Next, for P block element, group number is different. So group number equal to, it is a 10 plus ns plus np electrons. For P block element, it is a 10 plus ns and np electrons. Next, for D block element, group number is equals to, it is a ns plus n minus 1 d electrons. And finally, for F block element? Can you tell me? What is the group number for F block element? Anybody? All F block elements are belongs to third group. You need not to calculate. Lanthanides and actinides both are belongs to third group. That means for F block element you need not to calculate, you just remember the group number 3. They are belongs to third group. Okay, let's see some example. For S block element, for S block element, group number equal to just it is ns electron. You calculate number of ns electron. Number of ns electron gives nothing but group number. This it is in case of S block. But in case of P block element, we should add 10 plus ns plus np. So why we should add 10? I will tell you in periodic table later. So add the 10 plus ns plus np electron, and D block element ns plus n minus 1d, because in case of D block element, differentiating electron enters into n minus 1d orbital, that is penultimate d subshell, which is called penultimate d subshell. Therefore here ns plus n minus 1d comes, and F block element all are belongs to third group. For example, let us take aluminium. Element is aluminium. So what is the block period group? So tell me all three. So write the electronic configuration. Atomic number of aluminum is 13. Its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Tell me 3s2, 3p1. Okay. You tell me group first block. Tell me. It is a p block. Why? Differentiating electron present in p orbital. Therefore it is a p block. Okay. Next tell me it belongs to which period? Which is the highest principal quantum number? Highest principal quantum number is 3. Therefore it is a third period. And tell me now what is the group? Okay. Tell me, to calculate group in case of p block element. So what is the formula? Group number equal to 10 plus ns plus np electron. So here 10 plus ns. How many ns? And tell me now what is the meaning of ns np? So remember, the letter n should be used for outermost orbit. It is a outermost orbit. Then what is the n minus 1? It is a penultimate orbit. Outermost, n is a outermost, n minus 1 is a penultimate. So what is the meaning of outermost and penultimate? See, if you take this is nucleus, okay, I will take shell 1, 2, 3, 4. So remember, in a given atom, the last shell, this is called outermost shell, which is denoted by n. Okay, last shell is a, last orbit is a what? Outermost shell or valency shell, which is denoted by n. Next, from last to second one, it become n minus 1. Last to third one, n minus 2. If it is a outermost, then n minus 1 is called penultimate. From n minus 2 is called anti-penultimate shell. So therefore here also it is, tell me now what is the group number? 10 plus, what is the group here for this? 10 plus ns and np. Now which is ns? ns is a 3, no? Outermost 3, no? It is outermost, it is a penultimate, it is anti-penultimate. So therefore n is 3, 3, therefore 3, ns is 3 plus np also, not electron, we should write electron. Okay, 3 is the outermost. How many s electron? 2. How many p electron? 1. It is become 13. 13th group. Understand? One more. Take chromium. Identify the block, period, group number. Chromium. So what is the atomic number of chromium? 24. Chromium and copper both are having anomalous electronic configuration. Do you remember? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Tell me. 4s1, 3d, 5. Chromium and copper, these two elements in D series, 3d series, having anomalous electronic configuration. Come on, tell me, what is the block? Which is D block. Okay. Block is D. Period number is highest principal quantum number 4. Fourth period. Group. In case of D block element, how do you calculate group? Group is equals to, in case of D block, ns plus n minus 1 d electrons. Ns electron, tell me, identify which is a n here. N is a 4. Highest, no. If n is a 4, which is n minus 1? 3. We want n minus 1 d, it means this only. This is also 3, this is also 3, but we have not taken that. Ns, how many electron? 1. N minus 1d, 3d, how many electron? 5, which is equals to 6. It means 6th group. Okay. So in this way you can identify the position of element in periodic table. Okay. This is one way. Next is, even we can remember the whole 118 elements in periodic table. How? That you can write, or you can take periodic table. Okay. And tell me, modern periodic table has how many groups? 18 groups. How many periods? 7 periods. Okay. So I'll take here period number 1. It is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are total 7 periods. Okay. Now tell me, which is the first group? Which elements are first group? Alkali metals. Okay. Let us take alkali metals, right? Fine. Now, can you tell me? Yeah. What is the first element? Hydrogen. Hydrogen is a first group, but not alkali metal. Hydrogen. Next, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Next, second group. Tell me, what are the elements in second group? It starts with beryllium, right? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Okay. Next is, it is a first group. It is second group, group 2. The next is third group. Do you know third group start from which period? It is a fourth period, because it is, there are D block elements, right? Third, fourth, fifth, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because D block has total how many groups? 10 groups. Okay. Now tell me, it is about D block elements. Here, potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel. Yeah, we have taken only 10, 8, 9, okay, 10. Next is copper, zinc. So what is the group number here? It is a G3, G4, G5, G6, G7, G8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It means third group to 12th group, total 10 groups. Then, can you tell me what are the remaining elements in the scandium, that is third group? Scandium, yttrium, lanthanum, actinum. You must remember all the elements in a group wise. Scandium, yttrium, lanthanum, actinum. Titanium, zirconium, hafnium. Vanadium, niobium, tantalum. Chromium, molybdenum, tungsten. Manganese, technetium, rhenium. Iron, ruthenium, osmium. Cobalt, rhodium, iridium. Nickel, palladium, platinum. Copper, silver, gold. Zinc, cadmium, mercury. So you must remember all the elements only group wise. So these are all D block. Okay. So after D block, what are the elements? P block. It is a 12th group. Next is 13th group. Tell me, in 13th group, which is the first element? Boron. Boron belongs, boron first element. Boron belongs to which period? Is it first or second or third? Not first, it is second. Because lithium, beryllium, boron. It means here it comes, no? Okay, tell me, here is boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Next, it is a 13th group element. This 14th, 15, 16, 17 and 18 is one more element will be there extra, that is helium. Now tell me, it is a G13, G14, 15, 16, 17, 18th. So what are the 14 group elements? Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Okay, good. Next, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth, Bi. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, Te, polonium, Po. Here, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Next, here, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Okay, then what about F block elements? Where is F block element? right? So these are the S block, take down. So here third group to 12th group, they are D block elements. These are P block elements. Then where the F block elements. Okay, we will discuss about that later. Now tell me how to identify or how to remember the atomic numbers. In last class I told you, remember the atomic number of noble gases, you must. Atomic number helium 2, it is 10, 18, 36, 54, 86. Okay. So remember the atomic number of noble gases, at least noble gases. If helium is 2, hydrogen is 1, no? It should be 1. Next, if neon is 10, tell me what about the atomic number of this? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. If it is a 5, 4, it is 3. If atomic number of krypton is 18, it is 17, 16, 15, it is 14, 13, it is 12, 11. Next, if it is 36, tell me what is the bromine? 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, it is 30, this is we know 29, 28, tell me 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, this is 20, it is 19, right? Next, tell me about this. If it is a 54, iodine is 53, it is 52, 51, 50, it is 49, it is 48, 47, 47, tell me 40, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37. Next, here 86, tell me this is 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, mercury 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72. Then here, one second. Yeah, tell me. No, this is not. There is, yeah. See, do you remember what is lanthanum? Atomic number of lanthanum is what? 50. It is actually 57. Lanthanum atomic number 57. After lanthanum, there are total 14 elements. Lanthanum is a 57 element. Then after lanthanum, there are cerium to lutetium. Cerium is a 58, it is 71. Okay, right, 58 to 71. This 58 to 71, all the elements are placed in lanthanum box only. See, if I want to write this box clearly, in this box there is a lanthanum. Its atomic number is 57. Okay, 57. But after 57, there are total how many elements? Still cerium to lutetium. Cerium is 58 atomic number. Lutetium is 71. So 58 to 71, all these elements are 14 elements are placed in this box. It means that's what it's 72. It is 72, lutetium is 71, cerium is 58, 58 cerium, then 57 is what? Lanthanum. Lanthanum 57, this is a 56, it is a 55. Therefore, now tell me, these are called lanthanides, right? Cerium to lutetium, all these are lanthanides. So lanthanides are belongs to which group? Third group. Third group. All the lanthanides are belongs to third group. But actually they are third group, they are in D block, no? We should say it is D block element. Even though they are placed in D block element, the differentiating electron enters into penultimate f orbital, n minus 2 f orbital. Sorry, anti-penultimate f orbital. That's what they are, what? F block element, but not D block. And that's what they are. They are also called inner transition. They are not transition. They are supposed to be transition element. They are inner transition because n minus 2 f electron enters into that orbital. Right? So therefore, we have written they are third group. Similarly, actinum. See, actinoids. Actinoids are after actinum. There is actinum here. After actinum, there are total again 14 elements. Thorium 92, lawrencium 103. Right? Thorium to lawrencium. This now actinum atomic number is 89. This box is not of only actinum, not belongs to only actinum. Actinum plus actinoids. Actinum is one element. Actinoids are 14 elements. Therefore, in this box there are total how many elements? 15 elements. In this box also 15 elements. Lanthanum plus lanthanoid. Actinum plus actinoid. So what are the actinoids? Actinoids are thorium TH 92, lawrencium 103. Thorium to lawrencium, total 14 elements. All these elements are placed in this box only. 14 plus 1, 15 elements. So therefore, lawrencium is 103. Since it is a 103, this should be what? 104. Okay, then it is 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. Next, question is like this. The atomic number of an element is 110. It belongs to which period, which group? Right, you remember, of course period is only what? 7th period. Remember, atomic number more than 104 or more than even 100 also. Atomic number more than 100, all are 7th period, because 7th period start from where? 18, this is 88 no? 89, 88 no? This is what? 87. So therefore, 7th period start from 87. So therefore, the elements more than atomic number 100, more than atomic number is more than 100, all are belongs to 7th period. You need not to confuse it. Okay? Because 87 onwards, all are 7th period. But important is which group?
Last digit.
Yes. So the atomic number can be identified, the period number can be identified by group number last 2 digit. For example, you see atomic number 100 means 110. If atomic number 110, you see the last 2 digit 10, 10th group. Atomic number is 118, 18th group. Atomic number 104. Good. If the atomic number is 89 to 103. See, 89 to 103 is all are, tell me what? Third group, because 89 is a actinoid and 90 to 103 are actinoids. All actinum actinoids, all are belongs to this box only. That's what they are, third group. That's what I told you. F block element, lanthanide, actinide, both are belongs to third group. But lanthanides are 6th period. Actinides are 7th period. That is the difference. Understand? So in this way you can identify the atomic number as well as the position of the element in a given periodic table. Take down. Stop. Okay, we're done. Atomic mass. Okay, so before going this atomic mass, we shall know first what is AMU, atomic mass unit. See, under unified scale, the mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope taken as 12 AMU, atomic mass unit. What is the meaning of this? Under the unified scale, the mass of the one atom of carbon 12 isotope, one atom of carbon 12 means C12 isotope taken as a 12 AMU. It means it is under unified scale, they have taken the carbon atom. You just imagine it is a carbon atom. Okay, which carbon atom? That to C12 isotope, because carbon has C12, C13, C14, 3 isotopes. C12 is more stable and more abundant. So they have taken carbon 12 isotope atom. Okay, and they have fixed that its atomic mass is equals to how much? 12 AMU. Why? No reason. Under unified scale, they have taken as a fixed. Right? Like how electronegativity of fluorine is 4. It is fixed, no? Its electronegativity of hydrogen is 2.1. By comparing 2.1, they have calculated. Like you have studied electrochemistry. In electrochemistry, standard hydrogen electrode whose SRP is 0. Yes, hydrogen electrode, standard reduction potential is 0. Why 0? They have taken arbitrarily fixed. Here also it is arbitrarily fixed that this carbon 12 isotope has 12 AMU. Its mass is 12 AMU. So what is AMU? Atomic mass unit. Okay, the mass of the one carbon atom is 12 AMU. But actually I want 1 AMU. What to do? You divide this atom into 12 pieces. Yes or no? 12 equal pieces. If I divide 12 equal pieces, then tell me it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then tell me, if all are equal, you just imagine all are equal. This one part is nothing but is called what? 1 AMU, because total is 12 AMU. Right? So therefore, how do you define 1 AMU? It is 1 by 12th or not, this part is nothing but 1 by 12th. 1 by 12th mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope is called 1 AMU. In this way, the AMU is defined. Right? So therefore, 1 by 12th or 1/12th mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope is called AMU. Right? So therefore, the definition of AMU is 1/12th mass of one atom of C12 isotope is called AMU, atomic mass unit. Understand? Okay, it's all right. It is this one part is a 1 AMU. By there are how many total equal parts? 12. By adding all total equal parts, you will get how much? 12 AMU. So this 12 AMU is what? Mass of one carbon atom. Which carbon atom? C12. There is a C12, 13, 14. No, it is is we have taken only C12. Therefore, the mass of one carbon atom is equals to 12 AMU. Right. This one part is a 1 AMU. Right. So therefore, then later its absolute value also given. Absolute value of 1 AMU or AMU is equals to it is approximately 1.66 into 10 power minus 24 grams, or 1 AMU also equal to 1.66 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. Later its absolute value is calculated. Okay. Next, then what is atomic mass? Let us comes to atomic mass. Atomic mass is, it is a average mass of one atom of element divided by 1/12 mass of one atom of C12 isotope. So therefore, how do you define atomic mass? It is a ratio, no? Right? Atomic mass is equals to the ratio of average mass of one atom of element to the 1/12 mass of one atom of C12 isotope. But see, this 1/12 mass of one atom of C12 isotope, which is also equal to what? 1 AMU. Yes or no? So instead of writing this, you can write it is 1 AMU, because we have written here 1 AMU, meaning is this. Right? So therefore, you can write the definition of atomic mass. What is the definition? The ratio of average mass of one atom of element to the 1/12 mass of one atom of C12 isotope is called atomic mass. Okay, so it is the definition of atomic mass. Next, what is the unit? Tell me, what is the unit of atomic mass? See, atomic mass has no units because it is a comparison value. We are comparing what? Comparing with 1 AMU. Right? So since it is a comparison value or relative value, it has no unit. Right? Important, it has no units because it is a relative value or comparison value. So what is the meaning of relative value, comparison value? How it comes, relative or comparison? For example, can you tell me what is atomic mass of helium? In last class we have studied, we have written all the 30 element atomic masses. What is the atomic mass of helium? Okay, it is a 4. What is the 4? It is actually 4 AMU. The atomic mass of helium is 4 AMU. What is the meaning of 4 AMU? It means helium atom is, if you take this helium atom is 4 times heavier than this 1 AMU. One side they have taken 1 AMU. Other side they have taken what? Helium. When they compare helium and this is 1 AMU and helium, this helium atom is how many times heavier? 4 times heavier than this 1 AMU. Therefore, what is the unit? It has no units, no. AMU is not a unit, it is just relative value. Right? So therefore, since we are comparing, now see, for example, you take there are two persons. One is a shorter person, other person is like height, what is it? Longer, taller person. Okay, this taller person is 2 times taller than this shorter person. Tall is short is. So 2 times taller person, 2 times taller than shorter person. What is the unit? will you say it is a centimeter or a meter or kilometer? No. It means it is comparison, no. So therefore, all comparisons do not have any units. We have 2 chalk piece, 2 pens. Okay, it is a smaller chalk piece, even smaller pen. Little it is a longer one, right? So this is it. Now longer one is 2 times or 3 times. It means it has no unit, no? No units. So similarly, this is also comparison. So we are comparing atomic mass with what? 1 AMU. We are comparing atomic mass of all the elements, known elements, with 1 AMU. That's what we write. It is a, for example, helium. If you compare helium atom 1 AMU, helium atom is 4 times or heavier than what? 1 AMU. That's what we have written simply 4 AMU. Understand? The meaning of writing 4 AMU is, it is 4 times heavier than 1 AMU. 4 AMU. Similarly, take atomic mass of oxygen. If you see the atomic mass of oxygen, it is okay, oxygen 16. What is the meaning of 16? Oxygen atom is 16 times heavier than 1 AMU. That's what it is, right? 16 AMU. Okay. So therefore, atomic masses do not have any units. It's a comparison value or relative value. They are compared with 1 AMU. Okay. Have written here till here. Write down this. Atomic mass has no units because it is a relative value or comparison value. Written. Next point. Example. Atomic mass of helium is 4. Atomic mass of helium is 4 AMU, right? 4 AMU. It means atomic mass of helium is 4 AMU. It means helium atom is how many times?
4 times.
Helium atom is 4 times heavier than, helium atom is 4 times heavier than what? 1 AMU. 4 times heavier than 1 AMU. One more example. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16 AMU. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16 AMU. It means oxygen atom is how many times? 16 times heavier than 1 AMU. Next is gram atomic mass. Gram atom. Gram atomic mass over gram atom. Okay. Right. So we know that atomic mass has no units, but if atomic mass is expressed in grams, which is called gram atomic mass. Gram atomic mass also called gram atom. Right on? If gram atomic mass expressed in, sorry, if atomic mass expressed in, if atomic mass expressed in grams called gram atomic mass. If atomic mass expressed in grams called gram atomic mass. So it is also called, or else write like this: gram atomic mass is always equal to 1 gram atom. Gram atomic mass is always equal to 1 gram atom. Okay. Example. Tell me, atomic mass of helium is 4 AMU. What is gram atomic mass of helium? 4 grams. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. What is its gram atomic mass? 16. Atomic mass of nitrogen 14. What is gram atomic mass?
14 grams.
That's it. Example, right? Gram atomic mass of helium is 4 grams. Gram atomic mass of oxygen 16 gram. Gram atomic mass of nitrogen 14 grams. Okay. Next. But as I told you, gram atomic mass is always equal to 1 gram atom. For example, let us take 4 here. Gram atomic mass of helium is 4. It means 4 gram. Therefore, 4 gram helium is equals to how many gram atom? 1 gram atom of what? Helium. Do you understand? Because written over here, gram atomic mass equal to 1 gram atom. The gram atomic mass of helium is 4 grams. Therefore, 4 grams of helium equal to 1 gram atom of helium. Next, one more. Gram atomic mass here. Gram atomic mass of oxygen is how much? 16. Therefore, can I write like this? 16 gram of oxygen is equals to how many gram atom?
1 gram.
Yes, it is also 1 gram atom of what? Oxygen only. Like this. Okay. Next, one more point. Gram atomic mass is also equal to Avogadro number of atoms. So gram atomic mass always contain Avogadro number of atom. It means how many atoms? 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. Gram atomic mass is always contain Avogadro number of atom. For example, you see here, what is the gram atomic mass of helium? 4 gram. 4 gram of helium contain how many helium atoms? Avogadro number of helium atoms. Yes or no? 4 grams helium always contain Avogadro number of helium atom because it is atomic mass. The atomic mass of helium, gram atomic mass of helium equal to 4. Therefore, 4 gram of helium contain Avogadro number of helium atom. Next, similarly, gram atomic mass of oxygen 16 grams. 16 grams of helium is always contain how many oxygen 16 grams of oxygen contain how many oxygen atoms? Avogadro number of atom. Avogadro number of oxygen atom. Similarly, 14 grams of nitrogen also contain Avogadro number of nitrogen atoms. Right? So therefore, for example, let us write here helium. I'll write directly. 4 gram helium is equals to, can I write Na helium atoms? Na is a Avogadro number. Yes or no? Similarly, atomic mass of oxygen 16. 16 grams of oxygen is equals to how many atoms? Na, which atom? Oxygen atoms. Similarly, 14 grams of nitrogen is also equal to Na, which atom? Nitrogen atoms. That means gram atomic mass is always equal to Avogadro number of atoms. Okay. Next is molecular mass. Molecular mass. Like similar to atomic mass, molecular mass also has same definition. Molecular mass is equals to, okay, mass of one molecule of substance mass of one molecule of substance divided by 1/12th mass of carbon 12 isotope. Okay, which is called molecular mass. Then how do you define molecular mass? Like similar to atomic mass, it is a ratio. The ratio of yeah, it is, of course you cannot average. The ratio of average mass of one molecule of substance to the 1/12th mass of C12 isotope. Molecular mass is the ratio of average mass of one molecule of substance. Average mass of one molecule of substance to the 1/12th mass of C12 carbon 12 isotope called molecular mass. Next, what is the unit of molecular mass? No unit. Like similar to atomic mass, no unit. AMU is not a unit, it is comparison value, right? Like, so therefore, similar to atomic mass, molecular mass also has no units. Okay. For example, molecular mass of water. Tell me. Molecular mass of water is 18. What is 18? AMU. So it means, what is the meaning of 18 AMU? It means water molecule is 18 times heavier than 1 AMU. Comparison. So therefore, water molecule is 18 times heavier than 1 molecule, right? Molecular mass of water is 18 AMU. It means water molecule is, or water is 18 times heavier than 1 AMU. 18 times heavier than 1 AMU. Okay, next is gram molecular mass, gram molecule. Gram molecular mass or gram molecule. It is also called gram mole also. Gram molecular mass, gram molecule, gram mole. Tell me, what is gram molecular mass? If the molecular mass is expressed in grams. If molecular mass expressed in grams is called gram molecular mass. For example, molecular mass of water is 18. What is its gram molecular mass? 18 grams. Molecular mass of oxygen. Tell me, what is the molecular mass of oxygen? Molecular mass O2, 32. O2 alva. So molecular mass of oxygen 32. Therefore, its gram molecular mass is 32 grams. Right? Right. If the molecular mass expressed in grams, if the molecular mass is expressed in grams, if the molecular mass is expressed in grams, called gram molecular mass, gram molecular mass. Example, gram molecular mass of H2O, gram molecular mass of H2O, how much? 18 grams. Gram molecular mass of oxygen O2, 32 grams. Gram molecular mass of CO2, how much? 44 grams. Okay. Next, but we also know that gram molecular mass equal to gram molecule, which is also called gram mole. Therefore, gram molecular mass is equals to 1 gram molecule. 1 gram molecule, and gram molecular mass is also equal to nothing but gram mole, nothing but mole. Gram molecular mass equal to 1 gram molecule, gram molecular mass also equal to 1, that is gram mole. Okay, then how do you calculate molecular mass? This is we have studied in last class, calculation of molecular mass. Tell me, how do you calculate molecular mass? By adding the atomic masses of individual atom. So molecular mass can be calculated by adding atomic masses of individual atoms. For example, let us take it as H2O. Then we know atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 hydrogen 1, 2 hydrogen 2, oxygen 16, that is 18. So what is 18 here? It is a molecular mass, of course AMU. 18 means 18 AMU. It is molecular mass. If I ask what is the gram molecular mass, it is 18 grams. You just write grams. That's it. Right? So like this you can calculate the molecular masses of any given substance. Next, but molecular mass also related with Avogadro number. Tell me, what is the relation between molecular mass and Avogadro number? So molecular mass always contain Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 power 23 molecules, because atomic mass contain atoms, molecular mass contain molecules. So therefore molecular mass is always equals to Avogadro number of molecules. Okay. For example, tell me, what is the molecular mass of water? 18 grams. Okay. Can I write like this? 18 gram H2O is equals to how many molecules? It is Na, water molecules, no? Why? Because 18 is a gram molecular mass. What is the gram molecular mass of oxygen? 32 grams. 32 gram O2 is equals to how many molecule? Avogadro number of oxygen molecules. CO2. The molecular mass of CO2 is 44. What is the gram molecular mass? 44 grams. 44 grams of CO2 is equals to how many molecule? Again, Avogadro number of molecules. Right? So in this way you can calculate number of molecules. Okay. Then there are simple calculation. Let us take here 18 gram. 18 gram water equal to Na molecule. If I ask question is like this, 36 grams of water contain how many molecules? Tell me. 36 grams of water contain how many molecule? 2 Na molecule. Why? You should know first 18 gram. 18 gram water is equals to how many molecule? It is Na molecule, right? Because gram molecular mass. 18 gram water is equals to Na molecule. Our question is 36 gram. Okay. Question mark. Therefore 36 into Na, this into this by 18. 1 za it is 2 za. It means 2 Na molecules. right? Are you following? Next, yeah, now let's see what is Avogadro number. Avogadro number. Tell me, what is Avogadro number? Avogadro number is the number of particles. It may be atoms, ions, or molecule, or you take generally particle, or you can take atom also. The number of atoms present in 12 grams of carbon-12 isotope. So, for example, it was measured like this. Avogadro, he was chemist. He took the carbon. Okay, this is a carbon powder. Okay, he took that. It is how much? 12 gram. Right. So he took the 12 grams of carbon powder and he counted the how many atoms are there. Right. 12 grams of the carbon has how many atoms? 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms he counted. Now this number he has given what? Avogadro number. Do you understand? It is just like dozen. 1 dozen has how many pieces? 12 pieces. Like similar to that. So here how many pieces are there? How many atoms are there? 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. That number is called Avogadro number. And of course, which is also equal to 1 mole. We take later 1 mole. So therefore, the number of atoms present in 12 grams of the carbon-12 isotope is called Avogadro number. Okay, right on. The number of atoms present in 12 grams of carbon-12 isotope. The number of atoms present in 12 grams of carbon-12 isotope called the number of atoms present in 12 grams of carbon-12 isotope called Avogadro number. Right. This Avogadro number has related to atomic mass and molecular mass. Just now we have seen how. Let us take gram atomic mass. Okay, tell me, gram atomic mass contain how many atoms? Avogadro number of atoms, right? Yes or no? Gram atomic mass contain Avogadro number of atom. Similarly, gram molecular mass contain how many molecules? Gram molecular mass is equals to how many? Again it is Na molecules. It means Avogadro number related to atomic mass, even molecular mass. If you take atomic mass, Na atoms will be there. If you take molecular mass, Na molecule will be there. Right? Understand? Then, now what is the importance of this? Okay, before going that, let me clear this. This is Avogadro number. Yeah, this value is called Avogadro number. Even Avogadro number is denoted by Na. In some book they have given N0 also, N0 also. Okay. What is the numerical value of Avogadro number? It is 6.022 into 10 power 23. This is numerical value of Avogadro number. And Avogadro number related to these two. Okay. Now, where Avogadro number is useful? See, there is a Avogadro number. The reciprocal of Avogadro number is called avogram. There is one more definition. Take down avogram. Avogram. The reciprocal of Avogadro number. The reciprocal of Avogadro number is called Avogram. Okay. The value of Avogram is approximately 1.66 into 10 power 20 minus 24. Minus 24. Okay. Then, right now, let us see where this Avogadro number is useful. This Avogadro number is useful in calculating mass of one atom. Can you tell me? Atomic mass, the meaning of atomic mass, mass of one atom, right? Molecular mass is mass of one molecule. Is it possible to calculate or measure the mass of one atom? Can you hold one atom in hand? No. If you do not hold atom in your hand, naked eyes, you cannot see with naked eyes. Now, where is the question of taking atom and keep on weighing machine and value barutta? Right? That is not possible. But even though we want, what is its absolute value? If I take one hydrogen atom, what is the exact mass of one hydrogen atom? That is 1.008 AMU. That is not actual absolute value. That is relative value. What do you say? Comparison value. We want absolute value. If you take one atom, if you keep in weighing machine, then how much value you will get? That is absolute value. That can also be calculated from this concept. How? It's very simple. You see here only. Gram atomic mass is equals to Avogadro number of atoms. Okay. Tell me. I'll write in short form. Gram atomic mass is equals to 6.022 into 10 power 20. Tell me. 23. Right? Atoms. This is right. Now, in other way, these many atoms weight is equals to this much, no? For example, you take oxygen only. Tell me, what is the gram atomic mass of oxygen? 16 gram. 16 gram oxygen has how many atoms? 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms, alva? Yes or no? So 16 grams of oxygen weight is equals to this much. But can I say like this? These many atoms of oxygen weight equal to this much. Odalva? Same. These many atoms oxygen weight is equals to this much. I want one atom. What is the mass of one oxygen atom? Question mark.
16 by?
Yeah. It means, tell me, I'll write here. Mass of one oxygen atom is equals to, okay, 16 divided by 6.022 into 10 power 23. Now you just see the formula. It means if you want to write the mass of any one atom, I want general formula. Mass of one atom of any element is equals to, very good, gram atomic mass, it's grams, no, gram atomic mass divided by 6.022 into 10 power 23. But 1 by this value is also called Avogram, right? Very badal one. 1 by this value is Avogram. Therefore, yes, mass of one atom of element is equals to gram atomic mass, you can write, into 1.66 into 10 power minus 24 grams. See, so simple. If you want to calculate absolute mass of any one atom of element, take its gram atomic mass, multiply with this Avogram. Similarly, tell me, I want mass of one molecule.
Gram molecular mass.
Yeah, one molecule of any substance. Tell me.
Gram molecular mass.
Instead of gram atomic mass, gram molecular mass into 1.66 into 10 power minus grams. First.